This hour, Real Kipper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365 as we bring it home on this Friday. We're going to take texts at 590-590. But before that, just a follow-up on the Four Nations tournament. And this is a February tournament. It's not a September tournament. Mm-hmm. So I was just envisioning, talking to Sean Reynolds about Connor Hellebuck. He's on pace for 65 games again, and he's been that way for like the last 3 or 4 years. Just like what happens if he gets hurt? Like
they lose
any of them. Like Canada, USA, where if they're at each other's throats, do we expect that, or do we expect it to be somewhat tame?
I think
you're 6 weeks away from the playoffs. It's dangerous. It's a little dangerous for some markets.
Yes. Oh, my God, yes. This whole Leafs thing, the rebuild, the whatever, if Matthews or Marner has something happen, it's like, welp. They got no other plan but those guys scoring.
The thing is, when that's, to me, the scariest part of, like, from a promotion perspective of the Four Nations face-off, is that, like, is the juice worth the squeeze here? Where the Leafs are sending their their 3 best players, Marner, Matthews, and Nylander, all playing in this event. And it's like, Marner got hurt, but boy, we won the inaugural Four Nations face-off didn't have Russia or Czechia or any other team. And
was that worth it?
I'm like, oh, what?
But if you're the NHL and a guy or two gets hurt, you don't care because you sold the Four Nations face-off rights for a lot of money, and most of the guys didn't get hurt.
I'm just saying, like, I've been thinking about that too, Kip. That thought has been crossing my mind a lot. And Matthews has been banged up. He's already flew to Germany. Like, he's going to play in these extra games.
The owners right now looking at.
They get none of that, eh?
Well,
they got to get a kick.
No, you know what they're thinking of? They're thinking about, like, the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup final may be making $15 million a game.
Yeah.
They want
that.
Connor getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's high risk given the timing in relation to the playoffs for sure. But, yeah, you're right. I do wonder if that has some effect on desperation levels and guys selling out the same way, but probably not. Guys don't know really how to turn it off in an event like that. God, have you ever played, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Have you ever played like just a shinny game and you're trying to decide how to divide up teams, bunch of pro guys, and you go, let's just do Canada-US? And it just ends up being like 10 times more intense? Like, it completely has changed skates I've been on when there's like...
I'm a lot older than you, so that...
There wouldn't be any U.S. team.
There wouldn't have been there would have been a lower number of
anytime
availability.
Like in college, I went to an American college, so we had a lot of American players. You split it up, and it's like, all of a sudden, there's this extra juice in the game.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it's an exhibition. It's a warm-up for the Olympics. It's like the puck drops, and it's Canada versus USA. Nothing matters. Like, these guys want to kill each other.
I covered the... World Cup, I guess we called it in World Cup.
2016?
Yeah. And that one just had nothing on the line. Mm-hmm. Really nothing.
And also it was like an offensively arranged thing.
It was one of my least favorite things to do.
Excellent Canada-Russia game in that though.
Listen, the kids were entertaining. There was some value on the entertainment, but not the feel that we should have in international play. Mm-hmm. I don't know where this Four Nations will fall into place here. I don't know, but I do know with the Olympics 2 years away and guys wanting to make a point of being on that team,
right?
That'll take it up automatically take it up a notch than what we saw in 2016.
Yeah, you're right. If you're a fringe guy and you lead Canada in scoring in this event, it's like next time we're going, do you know how good these guys are? Oh, my God.
Right.
Oh,
Paige
what a
Thompson
save!
In overtime. Didn't go in.
Wow, what a save by Lankinen.
I gotta have a strong impression.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not playing just for Four Nations. I'm playing to
be on the Olympic team. Yeah.
Go to the Olympics. Man. So it'll be interesting.
It will be. All right, Sammy.
The Leafs don't get hurt.
You got some text for us there?
So this is a great question off the back of us talking about shinny hockey. Crystal from Stouffville, I'm going to assume that's a nice female texter, Is
There
Nick?
it is. Vancouver wins.
Vancouver wins. Who scored?
Wow, they hung on.
Garland.
Little
Garland. This
On
guy.
an unbelievable
Garland had a great
Hughes.
block on an earlier goal.
Quinn Hughes made the play.
He's
made the
such
whole
a
play.
pesky son of a gun. Is Nick still skating with Eric Lindros's group? Who is considered the ringer of that group?
Cody Hodgson.
Cody Hodgson.
Oh my God, the guy's got it on a string there. I'm on his line.
I mean, last year he played professional hockey.
Like
I
he came
know.
back from
I know.
he came back from
Yeah.
not playing and then he scored like 10 goals.
in the American League. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But a lot of my group is the Skatey 8s,
yeah,
88s.
I got to play them in a charity
Yeah.
event.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
really fun playing
Yeah.
with a bunch of sales guys. With them doing a
Johnny.
3-touch breakout.
Yeah.
Kevin Shire is a unbelievable hockey. I'm like, I have no business being out there, and I play pro.
There's one guy that we played against that was like had the long hair, mutant, just flying up and down the ice. I don't know what his name was, but God, he was good.
Johnny.
This
is the second time we've brought up Johnny, and every time I go in on Thursday mornings, it's like he's like a newfound celebrity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's Sammy McKee on steroids. Famous now.
All right. So this is a text here because we were talking about the Flames jersey. What is the best logo and the best jersey in the league, and the worst logo and the worst jersey in the league?
This is your department, not Kip's.
Kip's gonna have an opinion on
I'm
this.
starting to come in my old age over to the jersey side, I guess.
All right.
Yeah. So you go ahead.
So
Answer.
you don't care? So you don't care, or you
I'm
do
jumping
care?
in. I'm jumping in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the best jersey in the league and the best logo in the league is the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's the best jersey. It's the best logo.
Just
Sorry.
Homer.
I love it. It's beautiful.
I mean, I have it up there for sure,
It's
too. I
beautiful.
mean, I'm an original 6 guy.
Yeah,
like, I think the,
The blue's
Boston Bruins.
fantastic. The blue's
it's
fantastic.
such a nice color of blue. It's
It
a
is.
great
Yes.
classic logo, great
Yeah.
history behind it. Like the whole thing. It's a beautiful old logo.
I don't think,
love it.
maybe just because it's like Chicago Blackhawks, a proper Blackhawks
Yep.
jersey.
Yep.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
Canadians, obviously, got to give them love. That's a
Guys, I'll
great
go with
sweater.
my first original NHL jersey I've ever put on, the Washington Capitals.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yes,
love
do.
that one,
think-
too. That's
I think
a gorgeous
it
sweater.
so represents DC,
Yeah.
right?
But their
Very clean.
original ones are extremely nice. Don't get me wrong. But the ones that they've been wearing since the lockout, that's like got like all the
Yeah,
piping on it.
well,
Like they tried to redo
Right. The third they
original.
wear is nice.
Like we have one over there of like the actual one that you used to wear, which is I agree,
Yes.
gorgeous jersey. But their
Okay,
new
so
ones
when
are
they
not very good.
the eagle, the big flying eagle,
Yeah, Screaming Eagle.
I don't mind that one,
No,
but
I
it's
don't
a
like it
little
at all.
hokey.
Um.
The worst?
So yeah, worst. I think Columbus. Could you do worse with better? Like those colors
Yeah.
are iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can make a worse
Yeah, it's
jersey
not
than
great.
Columbus had with what they're working with.
I think the Ducks.
Oh, the Ducks
The, Du-
oranges
the,
this
the-
year.
the Ducks
Vile.
rebrand this year
Ugh.
may be the worst jersey in the history of the league.
Oh
like
my
it's
God.
so bad. Like
disgusting.
just do the purple one. The purple one was great.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, the
that.
eggplant
Yeah.
was so nice.
Why do
Wow,
the
that's so
orange?
nice.
It's
Fine.
right.
It's
like
awful.
maybe because Trump got in,
Is that what it is? It's the orange.
right? Because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's his hair color.
That's what it is. In honor of, I will say the logo thing, the Whalers logo that you guys had probably
Yeah.
goes down as the all-time best logo.
Mhm.
Use of negative space is really good. I guess the Habs have that going on too.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Not a good
Uh,
sweater.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You think it's one of the worst?
I will, and I'm not just saying
Not
this.
a
I
huge
love
fan of it.
I love the Islanders sweater too, and that's probably just a lot of my upbringing. But
That is a record that I've ever spent that much time talking about.
thank you for your time. The University of
Jerseys.
Alaska Anchorage, beautiful sweater.
And we're watching one here right now with the Detroit Red Wings, who are on the brink of losing yet again. Their logo is amazing. I think the rest of their jersey, like it's very plain, it's fine, but like their logo on its own is a really
Yeah,
spectacular.
got some proper.
Well, listen,
detail.
if I don't know the actor's name, can wear it for 2.5 hours on Ferris Bueller's
Oh, yeah.
Day Off.
Yeah.
then
Cameron.
yeah.
Cameron can wear the Gordie Howe red away jersey
Very nice.
at the time.
Yeah.
Darks were away.
What's this? Guy?
Which they still should be.
What's that?
Well, he had that actor
Yeah.
was obviously phenomenal in that. Like I truly think one of
Yeah.
the best movie characters ever, Cameron in that. But he came back around
Succession.
and was so good in Succession to the
Every-
point that I didn't even know it was him.
Everybody was.
Oh, I mean,
I
that
picked
was
him out right away.
that was one of the greatest shows ever. But
I think it's a shame none of us know that actor.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm weird that way too. I can pick somebody that's like 100 years old and go,
What's his
hey,
Alan Ruck?
Alan Ruck, that sounds right. Does Alan Ruck shoot left or right, Kevin? Hey, boys, from Jeremy and Meaford, a longtime texter. If the NHL expanded by one team, what city would you like to go get it the most?
Newmarket.
Well, does it count if I say you got to go back to Arizona?
Oh,
what?
God.
But I'm telling you.
Hey, Austin, can you play the sound? Can we end the show?
Scottsdale, Arizona
Oh, my God.
has to be back on the NHL radar. I'm sorry, but
Now, is this because of the market, the TV market, the size, the population?
all of it,
Yeah.
all of it. And it's a destination point. Everybody wants to go there for 3 days. It's not gambling like Vegas, but it's nice restaurants, golf for 3 days. Hey.
You want
get
me
nice-
to go back to my ex
book
after
a
she did that to me?
massage. Book a massage.
How do you go back to that place? It's
No,
just
you can.
been terrible.
You just got to
It's
go
been
to
a nightmare.
Scottsdale. There's tons of money there
I don't
too.
disagree, for the record. Like I
just
lived there long enough to see that
they
it's
made
a
them.
great spot.
They made the same mistake as Ottawa did.
built outside of where it should be.
Yes. You just got to nail the spot because nobody's driving out there to Glendale
I
an
lived
hour plus.
I
Getting
lived
around
there
there
for
is-
3 years, and I maybe went to 3 or 4 games. 'Cause
During
it was
the
like,
week.
I can't even have a beer because you got to drive back on the highway for.
It's a, I went there for a bachelor party a couple years ago. It's hard to get around. Like you're driving,
but
or you're
it's-
not going
it's
anywhere.
out there.
It's just expansive. Everywhere is far.
They got
So,
room to go out. Here
Put-
in Toronto, it's
yeah.
up, they go out.
Put it in Old Town Scottsdale. You'd have a pretty good attendance.
What do you think of like Houston? I guess everybody's all over Houston.
Give me the
Same
hammer,
thing,
baby.
It's just a
Go to the
big city,
hammer.
right? Is it the 4th biggest city in the U.S.? Like, you hate to not be represented there as a major sports league. So,
Hammer.
Hamilton?
Yeah, baby.
Hamilton or Houston? Tough call
Hamilton.
for Gary Bettman.
Have you seen the Canadian dollar lately?
Oh my God, I have.
Do you know
Actually, I
how
didn't.
much money you need to generate to pay 100 and what will be like $140 million salary cap
It went
next
down
year?
to 70
in
cents
Canada.
on the US
Yeah,
dollar.
Think about that.
Borny
70
broke that
now.
news to me today. I was like, oh, it's bad. Upcoming trip to Detroit. It's not feeling this good.
Yeah, you're not going to shop at Buffalo this year.
Hey, this is from Matt and Barry. Hey, why isn't anyone talking about Joey Decord in Seattle as the goalie for Canada?
Okay, is that been
9-6
figured out?
916 save percent. He was 922 before his last start on a non-playoff team, and he also had a 916 last year. American born, but his dad is Canadian, so he has eligibility to play.
Has he got the Brett Hall thing? Because Brett Hall was like, Canada didn't want him, so he played his U.S.
Yeah, I mean,
status, and then he went and played the
yeah.
rest of his career with the
I mean,
U.S.
Joey played last 2 years in the AHL. Last year, he was the first year he played and had a great season in the NHL. I think part of it is that people don't think of him as like a great NHL goalie at 28. But sure, he's put together, what now looks like 2 good seasons in a row. I don't know.
The standard we're going by here for Canada is like, yeah.
Pretty low.
Yeah. Anyways, that was an interesting one. I hadn't really thought of that, but he's American born.
I would love to hear from him if he considers himself American or Canadian. That
Fair.
matters to me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If he's like, yeah, I'm a Canadian. Yeah. So you're right. This one's
I'd like
Is
to
he,
go on record
is
that
he
I
the
do
number one
consider
goalie in
myself
Seattle, by
Canadian.
the way? Because they got a guy
Like
that's
50
supposed to be
times
making.
last year.
They got a guy that's making over $6 million right now.
I just saw that they had 6 goals against them against the Sharks. Hopefully that's not for our boy.
Like
here.
Grubauer?
Grubauer.
Hopefully. Yeah,
881 this year in his 7 starts. Meanwhile, Decord's 916
know.
in his 16 starts.
Guess who the number one goalie is?
Yeah. McGrubauer.
This is a North Bay text, Kipper. The Bullard family wanted to say hello to you.
Oh,
So there you go.
there you go.
I don't know if that means
The Bay.
to you. Oh, yeah.
What was
not
how
that
far
big.
is North Bay from here?
It's 3.5 hours,
Okay.
about 360 kilometers, 380.
I failed.
Used to be like
understand Ontario
in
geography
my day.
baffles me.
My parents used to go up and watch me like in a single lane highway, and it'd be like
Treacherous.
whiteout,
Treacherous.
whiteouts,
Yeah.
That's scary.
scary.
Yeah, that road, like the 400 in the winter, and then it
Yes.
turns into Highway 11 there. That is a greasy road.
Yes.
Winter, boy, it's not great.
Take your time, everybody. All winter.
Last one. Bruce from Midland, Buffalo. Please tell me what's wrong with my team, please. Well, Bruce, they're not that bad.
No.
Pretty close to a playoff spot. Just got a point against the Canucks today.
Yeah.
Like, you got pretty high standards as a Buffalo fan.
I know those guys got
Couple
paid.
talent.
I know those guys got paid, especially on the blue line.
Yeah.
between Darlene and Owen Power, but they're still trying to figure it out, buddy. That's the problem, is that they have not learned how to defend.
Owen Power was a number 1 overall pick, 6'6". Give him a minute, right?
They're learning, and you hope this might be a good year where it kind of turns over once you get. How many games has he got under his belt?
He's got 185.
85. So if he gets to 200, 2+, you hope he's settling in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where his high end is going to be, Owen Power.
The Leafs center dilemma: who can strengthen the roster? If you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan like me, you know the team's center depth has been a constant concern this season. With Austin Matthews set to return from a mysterious upper body injury next week, the excitement of having our star back is palpable. However, there are still serious issues to address in the center position to keep the team competitive and, of course, fuel our playoff dreams. David Kampf, a key piece in the center rotation, is sidelined with a lower body injury. As if that weren't enough, Kaye Jarnkrok is still recovering from surgery, leaving another gap in the lineup. Max Domi, expected to be a versatile asset, has been placed on injured reserve, further aggravating the situation after missing consecutive practices due to lingering pains. To sum it up, the Leafs are missing 4 functional centers, and the pressure to act is mounting. James Myrtle, a respected Leafs analyst and contributor to The Athletic, highlighted a series of potential trade targets to address this dilemma during his appearance on the J.D. Bunke's podcast. Among the names mentioned, 2 stood out: Nick Jugstad and, for the nostalgic fans, a possible reunion with Ryan O'Reilly. Jugstad seems to be Myrtle's favorite, and for good reason. The player, who signed a 2-year deal with the Utah Hockey Club last offseason, carries a manageable $2.1 million cap hit, which is essential for a team as salary cap-strapped as the Leafs. Additionally, standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 205 pounds, he would bring not only physicality but also consistent offensive contributions. Jugstad is the most viable option for the Leafs right now, Myrtle stated on the podcast. And he's right. Experienced and versatile, Jugstad has played for several teams, including the Florida Panthers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Minnesota Wild, and Edmonton Oilers, and could quickly adapt to the Leafs' dynamic. With an affordable contract and a solid track record, he offers a practical solution without sacrificing too many future assets. However, it's impossible to ignore the possibility of a Ryan O'Reilly return. Yes, we know he chose the Nashville Predators last summer in search of a quieter environment, but the Leafs management still holds him in high regard. The 2019 Stanley Cup winning captain with the St. Louis Blues is precisely the type of player any contender would love to have on their roster. However, the cost of bringing him back would be steep, both in terms of trade assets and cap space adjustments, as Nashville or a third team would need to retain part of his salary. I don't think the O'Reilly scenario is entirely out of reach, Myrtle said, showing that there's optimism within the organization. However, there are doubts about how much it's worth investing in a 33-year-old player, even with his impeccable credentials. Meanwhile, cheaper internal options like Steven Lawrence, Connor Dewar, Pontus Holmberg, and Fraser Minton have been mentioned. But let's be honest, these names might serve as short-term stopgaps, but they're far from offering the stability and impact the team needs. The pressure is all on GM Brad Treliving. He knows that despite the Leafs' solid performance so far, the center position is crucial to sustaining any championship aspirations. With the trade deadline approaching, Treliving has likely intensified his efforts to finalize a deal. And we, the fans, are eagerly awaiting good news. For now, all we can do is trust that the team can weather this tough phase and hope a solution, whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or another name, arrives before things spiral out of control. After all, as we all know, the Leafs don't have the luxury of wasting another season with a promising but incomplete roster. The time to act is now. The Leafs center dilemma, expanding on the potential solutions. The Toronto Maple Leafs, amidst another promising